What's up guys, this is Anthony from Everything Practical, and today I will be playing with fire. Now today I will be looking at about 5 different types of lighters and fire starters, and at the end of this I will tell you which one is my favorite and which one is most practical for everyday use. Let's get into it. So first I will be having a look at this particular lighter. It is a plastic lighter with a long neck, which is nice when you're lighting candles like this one, so that you can reach inside and easily light the candle, like so. As you saw, to use this, all you do is press this nice big button and it turns the lighter on. When you release it, it turns the lighter off. One of the problems with this particular lighter is that you cannot refill any of the butane in the lighter. You only have a visible gauge to see how much butane you have. I don't know if you can make out how much is in here, but the level is right about in the middle. I like this lighter quite a bit because it's very easy to use and I can easily reach all of the wicks in a candle if they're inside of a glass, like this one. The one thing I don't like about this lighter is that you can't refill the butane once it runs out, so you can only use it until the butane is out and then you have to throw it away. But let's compare it to the other lighters and see the advantage of those. The next lighter that I have is the big plastic bark wheel lighter, and this gets its name from the wheel on the lighter to ignite the lighter. To use this lighter, you simply use your thumb to roll the spark wheel, and then afterwards it guides your thumb down to this button that keeps the fire going. So I can demonstrate this for you.
Nice!
What you do is you put your thumb on the spark wheel and give a fair amount of pressure, and then you push down to hold this red button and you have your lighter. One thing I don't like about these lighters is that the spark wheel can get really hot if you let the fire go for a long time. Another thing I don't like is when you're trying to light candles like this one, and you have to get inside of the candle. Maybe you can't get all the way, but then the fire is really close to your finger. You can burn your finger. So it's an advantage that this long neck lighter has over this little short one. Now what the short one does have that this longer one doesn't is that it's very easily transportable. So you can easily throw this into your pocket or into a bag and transport it. When you're running around with this lighter, it's not necessarily the sexiest thing, and you don't want to pull this out of your pocket and people go, oh wow, look how big your lighter is. And for lighters, you want to go with the little one. This next lighter is an electric arc lighter. Now what I really like about this one is that it is not requiring any butane, and you charge it electrically with a USB cable. And to use this and turn it on, it has a little safety switch, so you switch this up and there's a little power button in here. I don't know if it shows up on the camera, but then you turn the power button on and you get this nice, let's see if I can focus on this, you get this cool little plasma electric arc going on. Now this is very handy and practical when you're trying to light candles. You can stay away and you can just dip this, and this is also adjustable, so you can swing it around and you dip this into the candle and just turn it on, and it eventually lights well. This isn't lighting the candle very well, there we go. But normally it works pretty well, pretty fast. Another nifty lighter is the torch lighter I have here. And this one has a little safety function. It has a little cap on it. And this is to protect from after you use it, and this piece gets hot. So to use this, first you need to have butane inside of the lighter. And you just click here and it turns on. And you can see the flame. Yeah, and that's it. This is quite a hot and powerful little lighter. It lights candles very, very quickly. I can show you a quick example of this. So it Well, you can point it in there, turn it on, and there you go. Quite quick, and you don't need to get so close because the torch lighter is so powerful. You don't have to be so close to the candle. So as you can see, you can just point whatever you want and it'll eventually ignite. One thing that is kind of neat is this has a little lock. So if you press this to have it turned on, you just slide the lock, and this stays on without you having to press any button. And it'll stay on pretty much until you run out of butane. So there you have it. This neat little torch lighter. Now these can be really expensive, but this one I got for $5 or $10. Not a bad lighter. Now in case you have an empty one of these or an empty lighter that takes butane, and you'll know if it takes butane if it has one of these little pins at the bottom. What I can show you with this one, which is really neat because it's clear, I can show you how I fill up with the butane. So what you do is you take a butane canister, this is the one I have, and you open it, and this has little top, and you put it into the pin at the bottom. Let's get focus. You put it in and then you press. I'm going to do this in slow motion, so hang tight. So there you have it. Now it is full of butane. And you can easily use this now. Pop the top off, click this once or twice, and get the fuel going, and here we go. It is running like a jet engine. So to use these matches, pretty easy, the little ones. You just take them out of the pack, and you have a strip on the match box that's roughed up. You take the match and you apply a little bit of pressure, and then you run it across this rough patch, like so. Then you have it lit. Now these you can also, oh, this is running out. That was not very good. A disadvantage for sure of these, sometimes they light, sometimes they don't, and you can go through 4 or 5, maybe even 6 matches before you finally get them to stay lit. So let's try again. Take another one out of the box, light it. Good. This might have been 2 matches together, I can't really tell. But yeah, can go over to our candle, try to light it without burning ourselves, which is also a burnt myself. So yes, a disadvantage of these. Let's try this again. I'll bring the candle a little bit closer. So there we go, lit. Now we can tilt this and put it in. Now because this is so short, it's a little difficult to get to the wick, but we can get down there and eventually get this candle lit. I think the candle is almost out of a wick, so I can't really light it anymore. I'll have to grab a new candle. Now the last comparison I want to do is to see which lighter or lighting method lights the candle the fastest. We'll start with this first. So put it in and it's lit. So pretty fast. Blow out the candle and start with the next one. Get the smoke out of the way. This is the electric arc lighter. So we push this up and we can adjust this a little bit. Here we go. That was nice and fast. Maybe it's because it was a little hot already from using this other lighter, but it still lit pretty fast. Blow it out, and we will start with the next lighter. Let's get it a little fair. So let it cool off for a second to make it a fair fight for the other lighters. So the wick is now out. Let's use the torch next. Pop off the top, and let's get right in there. Well, that was pretty fast, and the experience that I have with the torch lighter is it lights candles extremely fast. So that was a very good demonstration of how fast the torch lighter can light a candle. I'll blow the candle out, and then we'll test with the matches. So the Swiss matches first. This is Matterhorn, beautiful Matterhorn and Zermatt. But these matches aren't very good. But let's anyways see how fast it lights a candle. Come on, there we go. So a couple seconds, not bad, but I'm not a particular fan of matches, but they work anyways. And lastly, no, not lastly, still have the little guy. So this one, let's give it a go. And I need to tilt it, otherwise I'll burn my finger. Pretty fast, nice, does a pretty good job. Lights a candle as you would expect, relatively fast. And I think it's still a little hot, so maybe this demonstration isn't the best. But lastly, I'll take the big ones. Go light, and there we go. Light also, just as fast with these matches as with the other ones. Very good. So now, after using all of these lighting methods, matches and lighters, which one do I like best? I really like using the torch lighter, but it can use a lot of butane because it is constantly, really powerfully creating a flame. But in terms of lighting anything in the woods, if you're trying to light a fire, or at home if you're trying to start a fire in your fireplace, this can really come in handy when you're by just torching all the wood. And like I said earlier, you can lock it into place, and then you can just really just spray this flame all over your wood. So this is really handy, and it's not going to stop burning on you like some of these other methods. And it is really hot, so that is very, very good. Now the electric arc lighter doesn't quite light fires very well, but for candles and small items, it works very well. So I would actually put this maybe in third or fourth place behind these other stick lighters. This other lighter could be almost tied for first, but it's not. It's just not as fun as a torch lighter. But it has this long neck, so if you need to get into candles like this one that are far away, you can easily get down inside without burning yourself. It does take butane, which runs out, and this one doesn't allow you to refill with butane, but there are some that do have this function, just not this one. But is anyways my second place, and followed by the arc lighter. Third would have to be the little tiny pocket lighter, because if you're trying to light anything down below, you're going to burn your hand because you're so close to the flame. But for traveling, this is for sure the number one, because it'll easily fit inside of your pocket. Last, I choose matches. Matches could be a little bit better in a campfire situation, because you can just take one, strike it up, and throw it into the fire, and then let it all burn. But otherwise, as far as being practical, I prefer either the torch or the stick lighter. Between the big and the small matches, I would also choose the big ones, because they give you a little bit more flexibility with the amount of time that you have to light whatever you're trying to light over the small ones. Even though the small ones have a really cool box, practicality, these are definitely better. So let's take it back. I hope you enjoyed this review. So I hope you enjoyed my review of all of these fire starters and lighters. If you want to purchase any one of these, I'll leave a link in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking it. And if you want to see more videos like this one, subscribe to Everything Practical. As always, stay practical, and I'll see you in the next one.